to the Greater Accra region and other areas of Ghana is to be stopped, but checks at the entry point around Kaswa shows large number of vehicles trying to access Accra and its environs. Security men and women have had a hectic time trying to stop these persons from entering the city. They undertook checks at these points, resulting in long queues. Commuters say it's creating inconvenience for them. Security at the various entry points, however, appealed to commuters to exercise restraint. Let's get onto the telephone lines and engage a member of the Ghana Health Service COVID-19 case management team, Dr. Kaba Akurie, joining us. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for your time. So I know that the lockdown was a recommendation by the Ghana Medical Association, and it might be too early to assess the impact so far. But what are your expectations of how the lockdown should achieve results?
All right. Thank you so very much to you and all your discerning listeners. As we said, the lockdown is not only a recommendation from Ghana Medical Association, but WHO and all the countries that have good results. Call it Korea, call it China, call it Japan, Hong Kong. They all had to take such a strong measure. And as we talk now, you know, Italy and Spain are equally on lockdown for even the past 21 days. And the whole idea is this. You and I do understand that right now we don't have any drug that can actually cure it. But we have certain measures that you can undertake that would actually be of great help. And one of them is that social distance. Now, when you have a lockdown, then people are not going out and they are actually not spreading it. It helps to really contain, and once you contain the spread, we hope that the numbers will go down, and then we don't have to reach that level where the country will be just like Italy or like in Spain. So the lockdown is one of the best exercises that can be done at this particular moment, early enough to make sure that we don't get huge numbers. I also explained that when you look at the lockdown, it's going to help with the health workers a lot, because we might not have that huge capacity like Spain, Italy, or US. We all understand that their health system is far advanced than us, and immediately the numbers keep going up, then we will start to have serious challenges, and we don't want to get to that level where the numbers overwhelm our health system. That will not be something we want to have. And so these are some of the things that we do believe that they are very good to do. Again, if you check the lockdown, it actually helps to contain people in just one place. So if you get infected and we detect, it's easy for our contact tracers to come straight to where you are, and then the location of the zoning of the place. It makes things very easy, and we can actually isolate you early. The good news is that once we get you very early, then your prognosis is something very good. Better than waiting, you disappear, and then it becomes so difficult to get you, and by the time we get you, you are actually in a very critical state. So
there are concerns that There are concerns that the 48 hours notice given by the president for the lockdown came at such a time that it afforded a lot of people to move from one place to the other. People moved from Accra to Wa, Accra to Tamale, Accra to Cape Coast and Takrady. There was massive movement across the country over the weekend as a result of the anticipated lockdown. And many experts compared that scenario to what happened in Lombardy in Italy, where prior to the announcement, many people moved to the southern part and ended up infecting more people in that part of the country. Did the Ghana Health Service and the case management team consider this type of scenario at the point that the president made the announcement?
Yeah. So here's the point. It's been well considered, and because of that, we've also deployed our structures to all the way to the community level, to make sure that people who get into the community are well known, and then we also count on the public. one of the things we all got to understand about this is that government alone cannot do it. This is the time we need good citizens to really come out. If you got someone who has come new into your community and he has a history, has the contact, has fever, has this, just feel free, let us know. This is not a disease that we want people to be stigmatized. I mean, you all know even celebrities have voluntarily come out to say, look, I have this, because it's not something that people will be stigmatized. So our structure, so if you look at the way we are structured, right from the regional, district to sub-district level, all those structures have been activated to make sure that we don't have people who escape massively. Of course, it's a system, it's a structure. Sometimes there could be one or two failures here and there, which we are willing to also fix them if we get to know. But at least we are prepared towards this, and we'll count on the people to actually help us. I'll take the opportunity to also say this, that some of our contact tracers are starting to get problems with the communities, with some individuals. Please, this is the time we need your cooperation. We want your media to help us.
So can you, Doc, can you give me a fair idea of examples of the challenges your contact tracers have been going through with seeking to get in touch with people who may have been exposed?
Yeah, so here's the point. Some people have traveled, they've come back, and they are in their places. You call them, they don't respond. You have to go find them. Sometimes when you call them, instead of them being polite, they just throw them away. I'm not ready to talk to you. Stuff like that. And they keep moving. So we are a little worried that some of them are not cooperating. But the majority are doing, and we are very happy that the majority are doing. But you always get those, especially the young ones, who have, they always, they don't, a lot of young people believe that this disease will not affect the young. But that is a fallacy. It affects people of all ages. As I talked to you, a colleague of mine, a doctor, 27 years in Spain, just passed on. And we're on platform, and I was like, wow, that's 27 years old. A policeman, 35 years, went on. Yesterday, a baby in the U.S. passed on, and so one in France. So it can affect all ages. And young as we are, and people think that they will not be affected, we still need their cooperation, because they can be affected, and about 10 to 15% of them will need critical care.
But Doc, do you do acknowledge though that there could be associated trauma, psychological trauma, when people start getting the perception or impression that they may have been exposed and are on more like on a wanted list to be quarantined? And so I want to know whether there are plans in place by the contact management team of the Ghana Health Service to manage the anxiety of people, maybe offer some psychological counseling ahead of subjecting them to this contact tracing.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things we have, it's not one individual who does that. It's a team, and among them is even a psychologist. And so we try to make sure that people get the necessary information, and people get to understand very well that if we are able to get this done, the earlier the better. And you don't need to be, even instances we talk of people who have actually contracted it, and they are celebrities that are well known to many people. If you take the Canadian president's wife, I mean, these people are known to so many people, and there's no stigmatization. But yes, we do have that, and we do try to give them that psychological counseling before we even go up. Because remember, all the people that we follow, it's not everyone who comes out positive. The majority comes out negative. And when you follow them, and they also have to be monitoring their own self and for the next 14 days and giving us the results. And we communicate with them on a daily basis. So we actually have to talk to them, let them understand why there is that need and why we need them to take some time and really cooperate, put their own efforts into it, and let us have the results as daily as possible.
All right, Doc, we're grateful for your time. Thank you extremely. Dr. Kabakuria is a member of the Ghana Health Service Contact Tracing Management team working currently in various parts of the country to ensure that we're all safe. This is still Midday Live from our studios at Desawe Kanda. In a crowd to other news items, the residents of Beni, Sanga, Bupomo, and Kukbehe and some 4 other communities in the Sanarigu municipality have since Wednesday, March 25, not accessed the Sanarigu township and Tamale. A heavy downpour that lasted 4 hours has cut them off. Here is a report by Zubeida Ismail.
Over 5,000 residents are involved in this situation. The roads linking these communities to the Tamale metropolis has been cut off after a rainstorm that lasted for 5 hours. Additional waterways has been created. The residents have to struggle to cross to adjoining communities. A resident, Yakubu Mawiya, says the situation has become an annual problem.
Our students, our traders, and then so many people are used to this route than the other one over there. So we are appealing to government and his wings, any partner who can help us to construct this road should come out.
The assemblyman for the Sagnarigu electoral area, Issa Baba, blamed the situation on the bad nature of the roads. The road was awarded on contract in 2016 to be constructed, but work is yet to begin.
But since then up till now, we have been following them and they have abandoned this road till the year 2020 now. The community here rely on schools in Sanaragu and Sanakoko. So if there are no road, I think that will be a very big issue for the students to be going there. And also, the closer health center is in Sanaragu.
The Sagnerugu Municipality Chief Executive Mariam Idrisu pleaded to the contractor to resume work.
Field officers so that at least they would do a temporary measure for my people to be able to cross to the other side of the community.
And passengers arriving in the Upper East region are being screened at the various entry points to the region by officials of the Ghana Health Service in collaboration with the Ghana Police Service. Our Upper East regional correspondent Tanko Mohammed Rabiu was at the Pualugu police checkpoint where the exercise is being carried out and has come through with the following report.
The exercise started Monday dawn as one of the efforts to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 disease to the region. It is believed that most of the people are migrating from the southern parts of the country, specifically areas earmarked for the lockdown. According to the officials at the Pualugu checkpoint, more than 100 commercial vehicles carrying hundreds of passengers had been screened and updated on the deadly virus.
We realized that many people were moving down from the south, and we've been stationed here to do some screening before they get in. And that is what we've been doing all night. Our colleagues have come to take over from us, so we are going there. They will also continue with the screening.
Some passengers shared their views on the exercise.
It is very, very important because we have also recorded some cases in Tamale, and that we should take measures to prevent the escalation of these cases to the nearby region. So I think it is an appropriate event, and we praise the government for making sure that anybody who is crossing to the Upper East region should be free from this COVID-19 and should be safe enough to be in the region.
The screening is expected to continue until further notice.
This is still Midday Live from our studios at Desawe Kanda. In a crowd, we'll be right back.